Pablo, did you see your marks of the test?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Ah, okay, good. Yeah, okay. Well, only Emilio is missing. Well, let's see about the plan we have for today. Today we have two topics in our class, in our session today. Hello, Gabriela.
Hello, can you listen to me?
Yes, very well.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, no problem. Okay, so in the first part of the class, we're going to talk about an imaginary situation in the future. Okay. The second part will be a totally different topic. But let me go to the. My glasses are extremely dirty. Well, so first of all, we're going to imagine that we are not in 2020, the year 2020, but we are in the year 2042. Yes, that means in 20 years' time. Okay. Well, I won't be alive probably in 20 years. But what about you? I mean, how old? Let's imagine that now it's 2042. How old are you now, Francisca?
I'm 33.
No, in the year 2042.
Oh, 53.
53 years old, okay? You, Pablo, how old are you now in 2042?
$44.
44.
I
Are you
think.
24 now?
I'm 24 now.
That young?
Then I'll be 44.
Yeah. Oh, you're a baby. Okay. Let's see. Ignacio, how old are you in 2042?
I can hear you well.
Let's imagine we are in the year 2042. How old are you in that year?
2042.
20 years time.
50.
50 years old. Okay. Gabriela, what about you? How old are you in 2042?
I will be 51.
51. Okay, you're very young. Sometimes I forget how young you are and how old I am. Okay. Okay, so you are, except for Paulo, the others are, no, not only, but well, but you are the age you are. Let's imagine that you are very rich. Very rich. So imagine, I mean, what job do you do that has made you that rich? Yes? Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. So tell me about it. I mean, think about the job you do that has made you so rich.
Not a scientist.
Not a scientist. Yeah. Well, I don't know. No, probably not.
I would be a scientist. Maybe I could find a cure of a disease and that make me rich.
Okay. So you are a famous scientist? that found the medicine or to a disease like cancer or something like that?
Yes, in biomedical science,
Sorry, and?
in biomedical science,
Okay.
you can find a cure doing that, studying.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. What about the other students? Pablo.
I'm an engineer who developed a system to communicate different sciences. I don't know how to say it. Who can communicate professionals from the humanistic science and the classic science.
Okay, so you developed the software, you mean?
A system.
A system.
Not only a software.
Yeah. To put in contact these two types.
Easier to understand and build together solutions, uniting many areas of knowledge.
Okay.
Unifying many areas of knowledge.
Okay. Okay. What about you, Francisca?
I will create a protocol to identify early diseases. So I patent that protocol, and in that year, the protocol will be used in every new baby. So every new born will use this protocol. So I will take guidance.
Sorry, I will take what?
How do you say ganancia?
I will gain. What kind of ganancia?
Profit?
Money.
Sorry?
I will gain money with each applied test.
You talk about money.
Yes.
Royalty.
Sorry?
Like royalty?
You're talking about a percentage of the, like a patent?
Yes, a patent.
Yeah, it's a royalty, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Royalty. Okay, good. That's good. Let's see, Ignacio, what about you?
Science divulger or communicator.
Yeah.
A writer of books or something like that. A famous communicator of science.
Okay, but you talk about writing scientific papers?
No, not for other scientists. Writing for the population.
To public, general audience.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
right.
Or
Let's see.
a gambler.
Sorry?
Or a gambler.
Or a gambler. Gambler. That is another, well, it's not a job, it's another way to make money. Yeah, that is a very good way. If you're good, you're very good at that. Let's see. Hello, Emilio. Player. Sorry, Pablo?
No, professional blackjack player.
Okay. Let's see. Well, the same as you imagine your I mean, your job or the activity you've done. What about your family? How do you imagine in 20 years doing this activity with your age? And what about your family? Do you have a family? I mean, are you married? Do you have kids?
I imagine myself living alone with cats.
Living alone with cats.
Yes.
Okay. And where do you live? I'm going to talk as if this is the year 2042. Okay. Where do you live, Gabriela?
I imagine I
Sorry.
live. Hmm?
No, because I am asking you to imagine that we are in the year 2042
We are.
already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm living in Vitacura, maybe, because I'm rich.
Yeah. And you live with your cats.
Yes,
How many cats do you have?
maybe 5 cats.
5. 5. Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Pablo, Francisca, Ignacio, Emilio. Well, Emilio, I don't know. Can you speak, Emilio? Or not?
A little bit, but I don't know because my internet connection is slow.
Yeah, it's well, but try. We are talking about the year 2042. That is in 20 years' time, right? And we are
Right?
talking about, I mean, how old are you in the year 2042?
40. No, 50.
50 years old. Okay, you are 50 years old. Now, you are
50
very,
years.
very rich, extremely rich. So the idea is, I mean, what do you do? We are going to speak in present as if we were in the year 2042. What do you do, or what have you done? What job have you done to have so much money?
I don't know.
Think.
Maybe in 20, in 20
Your connection is
years, I
very
think.
poor.
I don't know. I would like to be a professor or a professor.
Have you ever seen a rich professor? Emilio, your connection is really poor. So, well, we have to repeat it anyway.
I only
I cannot,
can
I can't hear you well.
hear you, but when I try to speak to you, but I'm okay.
Can you hear us well or not? Emilio? Okay, good. So when your connection is too poor, just write what you mean. Okay. Well, let's see, Francisca. What can you say about that? I mean, about your family, what do you do?
Uh,
Are you married? You single?
I'm still working in science
Mhm.
and giving some classes at the university. I live in somewhere in the south of Chile, but I also have a flat in Santiago for meetings and stuff. I have two kids. And yes,
Are you married?
yes, I live with
Yes.
my partner. Yes.
Okay, yeah. You have 2 kids. Okay, what about you, Pablo?
I am married. I have my first child about 2 years ago.
Sorry, I
I
couldn't understand that part. You're married and?
I have a little child
Okay.
about 2 or 3 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And um, I live from the revenues of my system, and I'm always improving it.
Sorry, I'm always what?
And I'm always improving it.
Okay.
Improving. I I'm making my 4th or I don't know how many postdocs this time, and I dictate classes on different universities, but more like a hobby or a passion than for the money.
Okay.
Because
You
about
give
that,
classes.
I have no new. I have all my needs covered with that money.
Okay. Be careful. Remember, Pablo, that you give classes, double S. You give classes at different universities. Okay?
Yeah. Not dictate.
No, no,
Yeah.
that has a different meaning, a different connotation. You give classes at different universities. You overuse the preposition on, Pablo. I told you this. Okay. So you don't you give classes for free. I mean, you're not interested in the money.
No, it's for fun, actually.
Just for fun. Good. Okay. Ignacio, what about you? What do you do?
I live in the south with my girlfriend. I think without children.
Yeah.
I will write my books and I think I'll do some classes.
Sorry, I do what?
Classes, Zoom, via Zoom classes.
Okay, you give classes.
Yep.
You give classes, I mean,
Give.
online classes on Zoom, okay? Yeah. And you live with your girlfriend, no children. Yeah.
No.
Okay. And let's see, if you think about your most appreciated possession, what can you think of? Your most valuable possession. What about your most valuable possession?
But that possessions are material
Yeah,
or
no, material.
only material.
My valuable possession
Uh-huh.
would be my PhD certificate.
Sorry, when you
Or how tiene que ser caro. O sea, it has to be expensive possession.
no, I mean something that for you is the most valuable possession.
It will be my PhD certificate.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I think that it's very difficult to get it.
Yeah. Okay, but that is, yeah, that's why it is your most valuable possession.
Yes.
Okay. Emilio, can you follow us? And I don't know if your connection is better now or not.
I think it is still connection.
Can you try?
Now, can you hear me?
Yes?
I have to go to outside to improve the connection.
Okay, I can hear you very well.
Okay. I suppose that the class will be outside.
Sorry, I think the class would be what?
Here outside of my house because the
Okay.
connection inside it's really poor.
Okay. So
What
the
is
question
the
is, I mean, okay, besides your age, your activity, your profession, I mean, the things you do, how can you imagine what can you say about your family, your possessions, your most valuable possession?
ooh,
Oof.
it's difficult.
Well, let's talk about your family. Are you married? Are you single? Are you divorced? Are you a widow?
That it's difficult. But if I try to imagine, maybe with or probably single. I don't know,
Probably single, yeah.
but
Children, no children.
no children, not
Okay.
yet. Or no, I couldn't imagine with a children.
Okay. Where do you live?
Probably in somewhere where I would like to live in south of
Sorry, in the south of Chile?
Chile. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay. And what is your most valuable possession?
Now
Oh,
or in this
in the year 2042, all of us are now in the year 2042.
my I hope that my precious possession, I don't know, my house maybe.
Okay. Your house in
If
the south.
my house in the south.
Okay, right.
I hope.
Let's see. What about Ignacio? What about your most valuable possession?
In 2042,
Yes.
I think my LED TV,
Yeah.
my 100-inch LED TV,
Your 100
or
inch?
my 100-inch LED TV,
100. Yeah.
or at that time hologram TV. I don't know.
Okay, right. Good. Okay, Pablo, what about you?
I
What about
think
your-
my date.
I'm sorry?
I think I was thinking about it, and it could be my diary or my data, like my notes, my photographs, my conversations, all my data who I have collected along years.
Okay, all the data that which you have collected. Okay. So now I will ask you to, wait a minute, give me a second to see the order of the questions. Okay, please go to your cursos. Let me share my screen. Your cursos, material docente. Please download a file called Rich Worksheet, okay? Okay, here we are going to make some changes. First of all, the year is not in 25, but it's in, wait a minute, let me change the date, please. Now we are talking about the year 2040, we said, okay? So in 2040, you are extremely rich. According to that, complete your this information about your life, okay? Name, age, well, name is clear, but age, work, okay? Age, work, family, home, transport and travel, possessions, opinion, okay? Please, first of all, finish that. Imagine you are in the year 2042, sorry. And according to that, complete that information. Is it okay?
Okay, Miss.
Is it okay? Do you understand it?
Yes, Miss.
Okay.
Yes.
Some minutes for
Yes,
you
sir.
to.
Miss,
Yes.
in the work part,
Yeah.
the question how long, it means how long have you have this job?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Ready?
Not yet.
Okay. Not yet?
At least, not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Tell me when you're ready, please.
Miss,
Yes?
sorry about work. Could you give me some example to answer that question?
What questions?
The money? About
Money?
money?
I mean, you can give me a number and the money you make because you are very rich. That's the idea, right?
Yeah.
You can give me a number, a figure, or you can give me any answer that might be better than that. I don't know, but the idea is to give an idea how much that you have a lot of money, how
Okay,
much money you have.
Right.
Yeah.
Profe, era la primera, ¿cierto?
Sorry.
Just this page. We have to answer just this page, not the second one.
No, just the first one. No, because this is information you're going to use to make an interview.
Okay.
Okay. So how
I'm
many
ready.
people are ready? Gabriela, you're ready, I suppose.
Yes. I'm ready.
Ignacio, are you ready?
Yes.
Ignacio, Gabriela? Let's see. Besides Ignacio, is anybody else ready with the information?
The opinion part, we also has to.
Yes, all the first page, all but you can take, I mean, you can write, you don't need to write every single word. I mean, for example, in the opinion, you can make I mean, kind of list the points, the most important points.
Okay.
See what I mean?
Mhm.
Ready?
No.
Hurry up, please. Okay? How many of you have finished all the first page, all the questions?
Me.
Me, Ignacio? Yeah. Who else? Come on. Only Ignacio? Gabriela, good.
Okay, me. Mhm.
Francisca?
Yes.
Okay. What about you, Emilio and Pablo?
I'm answering the bad things, and then I have to answer the question about money makes you happy.
So you have 2 questions ahead?
Yes.
Hurry up, please, because I need you to work in pairs. Let me see. I will ask you to work in pairs, and you are going to interview each other, collecting the information you have from, the same questions. You collect the information first, step 1, okay? What your classmate said. Then the second part of the question is related to the second page. Let me show you the second page, right? After you collect the answers from your classmate, here you are going to you are going to imagine that you are a journalist, okay? So you're going to make an interview, right? So here you have the questions you're going to ask your classmate. Is that right? So I don't know. How old are you? What's your name? And then the other one answers, okay? So you collect that information. After the interview, you're going to write an article using the notes you got from your classmate. Do you understand it? This week, we spoke to, and you're going to complete this with the information given by your classmate. Do you understand it?
Yeah.
Yes? Everybody?
Yes.
So
Yes.
there are 2 steps then. One is to make the interview, and the other one will be to write the report. Imagine, you're going to imagine that you are journalists, okay? So you are 5. Well, I hope that you can, Emilio, I don't know what about your internet. I think your internet is better now. As you are not an even number, we will have 2 groups. In one will be 3 students. Okay. Let me see, wait. No, sorry, wait. Okay. Okay, in one group, there is Emilio, Gabriela, and Pablo, and the other one is Francisca and Ignacio, okay? In the case of 3 people, organize yourselves to have 1 interview each, okay? I will give you some minutes, and then I will visit you in your rooms, okay? Let's see. No, so, okay, there we are. Okay, so, well, I can see that one of the groups had some difficulties with Emilio that couldn't get connected. I don't know how much you could do that interview, but we could start with Ignacio and Francisca, okay? Ignacio, would you like to start? I will ask you to read your article, your report, yes?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, very well.
The interview this week, we spoke to Francisca Beltran. Francisca is 53 years old, and she
You got frozen, Ignacio.
and now
Yeah, now okay.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry about that. Okay, I'll start again. The interview this week, we spoke to Francisca Beltran. Francisca is 53 years old, and she has been a researcher and academic of Universidad de Concepción for 10 years. Francisca is extremely rich and has about $2,000 million. Francisca has been married since 2027, and she has got 2 children. Francisca has been living in Concepción for 15 years. Francisca has got a car, and she usually travels by car. Francisca has visited his parents in Rancagua and national parks of Chile. Francisca's most valuable possession is her house, because she enjoys this place with her family and her garden. Francisca say that good things about being rich are the possibility of trip and travel with family and friends. And be the founders of other scientists. But the bad things about being rich are pay taxes. Say that money make her happy because help her to complete her goals.
You got frozen, Ignacio, in the last part.
Oh, sorry. Say that money make say that money make her happy because help her to complete her goals.
Because helps her to
complete her goals.
Okay, Ignacio, quite good. There are some things that have to do with pronunciation, most of them, but little things. Be careful with the pronunciation of ch and sh. Children. Imagine that you have a T before. Yes?
Yeah. Okay.
You have an imaginary T. So imagine that you have this. Children. Yeah? Okay. Francisca's most valuable possession. Yeah? Be careful with S's. Right? Francisca's. You have to, okay. She says. Right? She says. Good. The worst part or the bad thing about money is paying taxes. I don't know if I heard you correctly.
Pay taxes. Yes.
Is to pay taxes.
To pay taxes.
Yes. And she says that money helps her to not to complete her goals, to achieve her goals. Alcanzar. to achieve her goals. Okay?
Okay.
Achieve, right? Good, but it was very good. Okay, let's see, Francisca, what can you tell me about Ignacio?
Okay, this week we spoke to Ignacio Chavez. He's 50 years old and he has been a scientific communicator for 5 years. He's extremely rich and has about $1 million. $1 million. Ignacio has been in a relationship since 2020, but he's not married and he hasn't got any children. He has been living in Valdivia for 2 years. He has got a car and usually travels by airplane and has visited other countries like United States, France, England, and Japan. His most valuable possession is a smart TV of 100 inches and the last PlayStation because he really enjoys the high definition and computer games. He says that the money, the good things of being rich is that you don't have any needs, but money makes you superficial and attracts bad people. He says that the money makes you frivolous and superficial, not happier.
Okay, good. Very good, Francisca. Two comments about, one is about he has visited. It is, yeah? And be careful with two words. The word last. You said that he one of his possession is the last PlayStation. Be careful with this when you say, I mean, last. Well, we're talking about a model, okay? Last model of PlayStation. We are talking about the past. I mean, anyone in the past, different from a latest model. Latest es el más reciente, el último en salida al mercado. It's almost the opposite of last. Do you understand? Can you see the difference?
Yes.
In Spanish it's the same, but in English it's different. El último.
The latest.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right? Okay, very good. Good. Let's see the second group. Pablo, Emilio. Emilio, is it okay now? Is your connection okay now? Good. So,
Yes.
Pablo, Emilio, and Gabriel, I don't know who can start.
I think Pablo should start.
Okay.
Okay. In a minute. Yeah. The interview. This week we spoke to Gabriela. Gabriela is 41 years old and she hasn't got married. Gabriela is extremely rich and has about and earns about 10 million pesos per month.
Sorry to interrupt you, Pablo, but you didn't say what has she done?
She does, yes, yeah. She has been a scientist researcher for 20 years.
Okay.
Yeah. She's extremely rich and earns about 10 million pesos per month.
Mm-hmm.
She hasn't been married and she got no child because she didn't want it.
Sorry, again, can you repeat that part?
She hasn't children because she didn't want to have.
Mhm. Okay.
Gabriela has been living in Vitacura for 5 years. She has a car and she usually travels by it.
By
Also by
By
the
car.
car.
by car.
By car. Gabriela has visited every country because he's rich, as she said. Gabriela's most valuable possession is her PhD certificate because it's a requirement for the project she has, the projects she had or have.
We have.
She have. Gabriela says that the good things about being rich are not being worried about the future. And the bad things about being rich are, as she said, that attract fake people.
Attract, sorry?
Attract fake people, as she
Yeah.
said. Gabriela says that money makes she extremely happy, because if she hasn't that much money, she will have to find a regular job and wake up early in the mornings.
Okay. Yeah, which is not very nice, actually. Okay, good. Some things, Paulo. You said she hasn't been married. She isn't married.
She isn't married.
Or she's single. You see, or she has never married. That is another. I think that is what you meant.
Yes.
She has never married.
She has never married.
Yeah. She hasn't children because she didn't want to have. No. Well, you can say she hasn't got. Hasn't got is something. I mean, it's a structure that is quite British, I would say. She hasn't got is the same as she doesn't have.
Yeah, she hasn't got.
She hasn't got, or she doesn't have any children. Yeah. Because she didn't want to have, no. Because she didn't want to.
Because she didn't want to.
Yeah. She has visited every country, no. She has visited many countries. She has traveled around the world.
She said every.
Yeah, no, I know, but I am making the language comment, okay? She has visited all the countries of the world, which is not very usual to say. You say she has traveled all over the world. Yeah. She says, be careful with this. When you use the verb to say, you say, to say, you say, I say, they say. But when you put an S, it says, not say. Right? Says, she says. one of the bad things about, no, she says that money attracts fake people. No,
Maybe dishonest,
sorry?
or I was thinking about that. Maybe dishonest, or I don't know what
Yeah,
is the
but
adjective
fake,
for
you can talk about fake money, fake,
authentical paper.
yeah, okay, you can say unauthentical, dishonest, but fake is usually when you make a poor copy of something. I mean, for example, money, you fake a document, but fake
Yeah.
people is not.
It's
Yeah.
like a robot.
A perfect robot. Okay, and money makes her, Pablo,
Her,
no she.
yeah, her.
Yeah, yeah, yes.
Yeah, I
Y
know.
esta como que no escuché eso, ¿ah?
Thank you.
Money makes her
I'll be careful.
extremely happy. Okay,
Huh.
okay, good. Let's see who continues.
I can. Oh,
Sorry,
Dale.
Gabriela or Emilio?
Emilio.
Emilio,
Okay.
okay?
Pablo is system developer, and he's 44 years old. Also, he has worked on this topic during 10 years. Yeah, he has 300 billions in his account, and Pablo got married 2 years ago, and they have one child. Okay, he traveled a lot, and he doesn't have a fixed place in where to live. Pablo has a lot of cars and helicopters, and he knew every capital of the world because Pablo is rich. His most valuable possession is all the data that he collected. And he likes to be rich because he can't forget about his basic needs, and he doesn't care about money as long as he can do what the thing that he loves.
The thing that?
The thing that he loves.
Okay, good. I could see that you summarized some parts. I mean, I don't know. If
yeah, because I only came here.
Okay, yeah. But it's okay. There are some comments. He travels a lot. Be careful with SS. Fixed, not fixed. Yeah.
Fixed.
Helicopter. Remember that the H in English is an aspiration. Helicopter.
Okay.
And basic, no basic, basic.
Basic
Yes.
needs. It's okay that concept.
Basic needs, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Emilio. Let's see, Gabriela. What about you?
This week we spoke to Emilio. He's 50 years old, and he's principal investigator in his own research institute. He's extremely rich and has about 100 million of dollars. Yeah. He is divorced since 2 years ago, and he hasn't got children, and he has been living in Chiloé for 10 years. He has a Mercedes-Benz, and he usually travels by his Mercedes-Benz.
By?
By?
Sorry?
his Mercedes,
Ah, okay.
and he has visited all the countries over the world.
Mhm.
His most valuable possession is his luxury yacht,
Sorry,
because
what?
luxury yacht,
Yeah, yeah, okay.
because for him it represents freedom, the freedom.
Freedom, not the freedom.
Freedom. He says that the good things about being rich is that he can travel a lot, but the bad things about being rich are the popularity for his money.
Yeah.
Y eso. Fue una entrevista entrecortada.
Okay.
I finished the interview
Okay.
there.
Okay, right. Let's see, 100 of million of dollars? No, $100 million. Omit the of. $100 million. Yeah. Okay, Gabriela?
Okay.
He has been divorced since 2 years ago? No, he got two possibilities. He got divorced 2 years ago is one possibility. Or he has been divorced for 2 years. Right?
Yeah.
He hasn't got any children. Here you have to use any in between, okay? I didn't get luxury. That was the word? Luxury job, I heard. Luxury
No sé
job?
cómo se dice.
Luxury, I mean.
Luxury yachts.
Ah, yacht.
Yate?
Yacht.
Yachts.
Ah, okay. Yeah,
Yacht.
I heard job. Yeah, yacht. Yacht. Right. Yacht. Luxury, okay, yeah, didn't hear that. And something about when you talk about la libertad, you don't put the in English. You say just freedom, not the freedom. Freedom in general.
Okay.
Okay, guys? Good, Gabriela.
Yes.
Any question or comment about this exercise?
No.
No? Okay. It was quite good. Better than I expected, actually. It was a bit longer than I expected, but the result was better than I expected. Okay, so shall we go for a break now? 15 minutes and then we continue?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
See you in 15 minutes then. Well, I think it's time, right? Yeah. Well, let's see. In the next part, in this second part of the class, we're going to do something totally different from the previous one. Well, that's the idea. We're going to practice. Well, in the first part would be how to study and how to study English. Yes. So, how do you usually study? I mean, in general, do you have any method? Any, I don't know, any protocol? I mean, what do you do when you have to study?
I take notes in class, then I read them and try to complete the information when different source information on Google, and I try to explain myself what did I understand or what I understood about the topic.
Sorry, but you read your notes and then you try to explain
Complete the
yourself?
information. I try to complete the information and then I try to explain myself.
How do you do that?
How do you do what?
Because you said, I try to explain myself.
I use my word to describe the information that I wrote.
Do you do it, I mean, loudly, orally?
Yes.
Interesting. Yeah.
How if I were teaching to someone else?
Okay, right. Okay. Interesting. I never heard that. I mean,
Yes.
I imagine you are alone. I mean, not with
Yes,
classmates.
I am alone.
Yeah. Okay, good. What about you, Ignacio? How do you usually study?
I usually study at night while listening relaxing music.
Okay.
I read my notes, and if it's necessary, I do exercises.
Yeah.
That's it.
And why do you study at night? Because it's the only time that you have, or is it because you prefer that time?
Usually in my house is very noisily at day.
During the day. Yeah.
It's pretty much quiet at night.
Yeah.
And it's much easier to study at this time.
Yeah.
At that time.
Yeah. Your house is more silent, probably. More silent and quieter. I mean, not much activity.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Let's see, Francisca, what about you? How do you study?
I try to solve all the questions during the class, and I try to talk with a classmate to solve the other questions.
Yeah.
And complete the information using other sources like the bibliography or information in internet.
On internet. Yeah.
On internet.
Yeah.
Yes. I prefer to study quietly. Yes.
I mean, no music, no.
No. I mean, if I have doing something with numbers, maybe I can listen to music. But if I have to remember something or writing something, it's better if I'm quietly.
You're quiet.
Quiet.
Okay. Let's see, Emilio, are you back?
Yes, sorry.
Yeah. Let's see, how do you usually study? Do you have any method, any, I don't know, any way to study? Protocol?
Sure. I try to schedule an hour after work, and then I read my notes. Also, I complement this watching videos on YouTube about the topic or an issue. I suppose that is my method.
Yeah. Okay. Do you study by yourself or with some other people sometimes? With classmates?
Frequently myself, alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Also, I try to sociably
Socialize?
socialize the topic, or I don't know.
What do you mean by socializing the topic?
I try to socialize the topic with another person, like I don't know, a fellow or a mate's classmate.
Mm. Yeah.
So asking about what do you understand about it,
What
and
they
compare
understand about it.
what they understand about it, and compare with my compression. Oh,
With your understanding. Yeah.
my understanding. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Let's see, Pablo, what about you? How do you study? Do you have any method?
I use the Pomodoro method.
Sorry?
I use the Pomodoro method.
What is that?
Is a way to planificate a study session,
You think?
distributing in small chunks
Yeah.
the session, and taking short breaks in between.
Yeah.
Firstly, I review what I have to study or what I have to do,
Mhm.
then make a plan, uh, uh, breaking the tasks in small like missions, and then distributing on the time chunks
Yeah.
every little task.
Okay. Did you say Pomodoro method?
Yeah.
And-
Like the 25 minutes, 5 minutes
Yeah.
rest, 25 minutes. Yeah, but my attention doesn't last many times to 25 minutes.
Yeah.
So
Doesn't last for
I-
25 minutes.
No, doesn't last that long. Some days, some other days can last a little longer, but I usually do about 20 minutes or 15 minutes with 2-minute breaks or 3-minute breaks, and I do some active rest, like getting up of the chair, do some estiramiento, se olvidó. Forgot my palabra.
Stretching.
Stretching, and do some stretching, or some or a little exercise like sentadillas. No me acuerdo el nombre en inglés.
Sit-ups?
Sit up
I think so. Yeah.
or
Okay.
plank.
Yeah, you do some physical exercises then in between. Yeah. Well, this is to tell you that first of all, I will ask you to go to your cursos again, material docente. Let me close this. Please go to, wait. How to study, please. Download that material, please. Yeah. Okay. Before getting to the listening itself, this is a listening exercise. Here you listen to the school assembly about how to study and do the other. Yeah. Let's go to the exercise 1. This is a preparation exercise, grouping. Before listening, okay? Here you have different ideas, different study ideas. So I will ask you to read them and then the idea is to classify them into good study habits or bad study habits. I think this is very easy, so we can do it. I mean, I will ask you to read it just to check pronunciation. And then you tell me if it is, in your opinion, good or bad habit, okay? Let's see, Ignacio,
I'm
please.
not sure.
I'm sorry?
I'm not sure, but I think that this exercise
We already have
the-
done.
we already
Are you sure?
Yes.
yes.
It could be.
Is it? Oh, what a shame. How
Yes.
embarrassing. Let me, because,
Maybe the second class. It was on the first classes.
yeah, but I think there is, it was another one. But it was about,
It could be.
it was about habits, yes, but I thought it was another one, no?
Is the one who mentions the green tea cup.
I'm sorry?
I remember about the listening we had about study habits.
Yeah,
The person mentioned that isn't a good idea to eat sugary food because of the sugar rush, and you could replace it with a green tea cup.
I think that is another one. If I'm not,
No, it's the same in the material docente. Is the 13
is it?
issue is the
Let me
same.
see. Wait a minute. What the, sorry. What is the date? How to study? You are total, let me see. Is it the same? Que bochorno. Wait. Yeah, it's the same. You are totally right. Definitely it's the same. Okay. So we're going to skip this exercise then, and we're going to go into the next one that has to do with, actually this was supposed to be the introduction to the other one. The other one has to do with learning English, okay? Let's see, please, material docente again, but this time go to learning English. How do you study English if you, I mean, I suppose you study English sometime, no? Do you have any way to study English?
I think that's why I'm on this course.
How to study, you mean? To learn
Yeah.
how to study English?
To learn English and how to study English, because I haven't a method.
Haven't you ever studied English before? Studied, I mean,
I have studied English with a personal teacher about when I was about 13, 12 years old.
okay, but did you study? I mean, or did you have classes of English?
I had English classes and I
Yeah.
had to do some homework,
Yeah.
and she gave me some clues to improve my English by myself, but not a study method for no I structured like to study English as it.
Yeah. Okay. Basically, you did homework and you had practical classes.
Yes, but I didn't study.
Yeah. The same way you study in mathematics or other subjects.
Actually, I'm learning to study.
Yeah.
Not long ago, like some months. Even
Okay. At
not
the
even a
master's
year.
program. Okay. Well, here you have, could you download it?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. In exercise 1, you have different questions. Okay. we're going to change this activity because we don't have much time. So let's see, I will ask you to choose, in your opinion, 4 questions. The ones you consider more interesting, maybe, and answer those questions. Yes? Do you understand it?
Yes.
Okay. Some seconds for you to four questions only. When you're ready, let me know, please.
Sorry, Miss.
Ready, Pablo?
What was the activity? To answer 4 of the question, or
Yeah,
only
I mean,
choose
choose 4 questions that you would like to answer. Anybody ready? You don't have to write the answer. It's just to think about the answer.
I chose 4. How
Okay,
many?
Pablo.
2 or 4?
4.
4. Yeah.
Let's do the
The
first one,
first
Pablo.
one, why are you learning English now?
Okay.
I'm learning English now because I consume a lot of media on English and in English, and I feel pretty confident about my understanding of it. But now I feel the need to be able to communicate, because I read and listen and watch so many topics that passion me, and I can't interact with the authors or people on a community that only speak on English.
In
And
English.
in English,
Please. Yeah.
and it's pretty frustrante.
Sorry, you said that there are so many topics you are very interested in.
Yes.
And they are in English. I mean, the people working in those areas are, I mean, they speak in English.
Yeah, are English speakers, and I can't speak with them.
Okay. Yeah.
While I understand what they said and I have an opinion about it, I can't express my opinion in a way that reflects what I think.
Yeah. Okay. So that is your main, objective in studying English.
Studying English.
Okay. Okay, let's see. Wait a minute, Pablo. Okay, that is one of your questions. I will check one question each, second question, and then all the round, okay?
Okay, Miss.
Yeah, good. Let's see. Ignacio, can you tell me another question you chose?
Okay. What is the most difficult thing about learning English?
Sorry, what is the best?
I think
Sorry, I couldn't hear you
the
well.
most. Oh, sorry. What is the most difficult thing about learning English?
Okay,
I think it's the way of the sentence are ordered.
yeah, that is grammar.
Yes.
Okay. Why do you think it's so difficult?
Because I always fail in that item.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, okay, right. Well, it's your impression. Okay, Emilio, tell me one of your questions.
Okay. The first, what is the best way of learning a language?
Okay.
In my opinion, the best way is to face a real situation in where you must speak English without choice. I mean, in a situation in which you, for example, need some, I don't know, food, or buy a food, for example. It is faced to a real situation.
Yeah. Well, the only way to communicate is in English.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Not,
sorry?
It's not the only, but in my opinion, I think it's one way. O sea, a best way to learning English.
Yeah, it's the best way. Okay. Good. Let's see, Francisca, what about you? Give me one question.
Which languages did you study at school?
Mm-hmm.
I studied English and a few years of French.
Okay.
When French was included in the curriculum.
Okay. And what about that experience of studying French? Was it easier or more difficult than English?
I think it was easier than English.
Really?
But in that moment.
Yeah.
Because when I was in school and high school, I always found difficult English.
Yeah.
And I was very bad at it.
You were bad at English?
Yes.
Okay.
I learned at university.
Okay. And what happened when you were in France?
In France, I speak only English.
You spoke only English. So
spoke,
French was
yes.
not useful then?
No, because the doctoral program was in English.
Yeah.
So what about what?
What about, I mean, outside the university when you went to the streets? And I don't know.
Outside was very difficult. No, I didn't remember anything of French. Just salut,
yeah,
ça va, or adieu.
Yeah,
Yes.
some few words. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, right. Good, Francisca. Gabriela, what about you?
I'm going to answer, is English a difficult language to learn? why or why not. I think that English is very difficult to learn because the pronunciation of the vowels change a lot between the words.
Okay. I mean, if you compare it with Spanish, you mean?
Yes, the sound change a lot, and it can be difficult to learn.
Yeah.
And to make the sound.
Okay. Okay. Let's see that. I don't know if we're going to be able to choose to check the 4 questions, but at least 2 questions. Okay, Pablo, give me a second question. You chose. Pablo?
Sorry, I turned on the camera and and I forgot to turn on the mic. What is the most?
Give me a second. I mean, tell me about the second question you chose.
Yes. What is the most difficult thing about learning English?
Yeah.
And I think the most difficult thing about learning English is the process that plays on the mind.
Sorry, again, because I couldn't hear you well, Pablo.
Yeah. I think is the process that plays on the mind of abstracting the meaning of the concepts from the word on the native language, or because many times the meaning and the concepts when you are thinking about things is too close to the word on your native language, and that process of abstract the meanings from the words, I think, is the most difficult, because the word sometimes mean something on other word on your native language, but so many times you haven't an exact word for that meaning on both languages.
In both languages.
In both languages.
Can you think of an example, Pablo, of that? Sorry? What?
On Spanish, we use gender to name things. On English, you don't.
But if I got you right, you mean that it's difficult to understand some concepts?
No, is to abstract the concept, a concept, or from the word, because some words are a fusion or have a specific connotation on a particular context that use another word or a completely different word in your native language.
Can't you give me an example?
The example of that resumes the gender of the things, the table, or the use of it.
If.
It.
Okay,
yes.
that you
or
cannot
also
translate.
a structure to make, or a specific structure of words to make a question.
Yeah.
That in Spanish is only a change of intonation, or the notes that you said while you're saying the question. But it's the same structure.
Yeah, I understand. Okay, let's see, Emilio, what's about you? Give me a second question.
Why are you learning English now?
Okay.
that is my question.
Yeah.
And to be able to develop my life in another country.
To be able to
Because
develop, sorry, to develop what?
my life or my work in another country,
Uh-huh.
I hope to travel abroad to another country and communicate fluently my thoughts or my opinions or my, I don't know,
Yeah, I understand.
to be able to communicate without pressures that I can speak in another language,
Yeah, yeah, I understand. Right.
especially fluently.
Fluently?
Fluently.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. Okay, thank you, Emilio. Francisca, what about you?
I think this question is already answered. What is the best way of learning a language?
Yeah, but there is, I mean, everyone has an answer for that. It's not one
Oh,
single
okay.
answer.
I think a good way is by talking exercises, and also talking with a native speaker,
Native.
native speaker.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
I took 2 or 3 courses in the North American Institute,
Yeah.
and the teacher always was a native speaker.
Mhm.
And I think that make easier the understanding, or maybe the making the relation in between the writing part and the sounds and the phrases.
Yeah. The sounds and the symbol, the written symbols, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Francisca. Let's see, Gabriela, what about you?
I'm going to answer the same question. Is what is the best way to learn a language? For me, a good way to learn a language is read aloud.
Uh-huh.
And I'm trying to do it now. And I download an app, and I did a read aloud. I do a read aloud challenge every day. I try to read aloud history
Mhm.
and a British story, and a British girl write my mistake. She corrects me, my
Okay.
pronunciation.
Okay, good.
I think that is a good way to learn.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Good, Gabriela. Ignacio, please.
Are you going to continue learning English for this course?
Mhm.
I'll continue learning. Yes, I'll continue learning English because it's not my native language and it's very necessary for me, my expect. And where? I think in English Institute. Um, in an English institute. That's it.
Sorry?
In an English institute.
Institute. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Ignacio. Well, now I will ask you to go to the listening comprehension part. In the first part, you're going to listen to teachers and students answer the last question. What is the most difficult thing about learning English? Yes? So the first part, you're just going to tell me if it's a student or a teacher according to what you get. Okay? Just that. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Let me play the tape. Oh, sorry. Here it is.
Welcome to One Stop English's Live from London podcast. In Live from London, we go to different parts of London to ask locals and visitors questions about their daily lives. Every summer, thousands of people from around the world come to London to study English. Today, Live from London is at the London International Study Centre. We wanted to find out what students and teachers thought was the most difficult thing about learning English.
The most difficult thing about learning English is, especially when you get to a higher level of proficiency, is picking up the nuances of the language and being able to recognize different idioms and understanding phrasal verbs and being able to actually sound less foreign.
We often find students have had a lot of tuition in reading and writing, but very little practice in speaking.
The most difficult is when people speak very fast and I don't understand.
I think the most difficult thing is the pronunciation.
I think my students in a group situation find communicating with others and myself the most challenging business in the classroom, because they're terribly shy, they don't want to make mistakes.
Okay, I can speak from my experience because I'm Polish, and what I found difficult about learning English was grammar and pronunciation.
The most difficulty for me to learn English was to try to understand different groups of community and also to be understood by them. I was scared of talking on the phone in my first year being in England. It's easier now.
I think the thing that my students find the most difficult thing is to learn new vocabulary, possibly slang expressions and colloquialism.
I think pronunciation is one of the biggest problems, the fact that English is not phonetic, and recording vocabulary, learning, storing, using it.
Okay, let's see, let's check this part. Let's see number one, wait.
Student.
Yes, number one is a student, right. Number two?
A teacher.
A teacher. Number three?
Student.
Sorry?
Student.
Student. Number four?
Student two.
A student.
5?
A teacher.
Teacher. 6?
Student.
Students. 7?
Student.
Students. 8?
Teacher.
Teacher.
And 8, 9?
Teacher two.
Teacher.
Teacher two, right. So now I will ask you to listen again, and this time tick the things you hear the speakers talk about. Which of these things are not mentioned? So tick the ones that are mentioned and the ones that are not, okay? Do you understand it?
Yes.
Okay, let's go. Here we go.
Welcome to One Stop English's Live from London podcast. In Live from London, we go to different parts of London to ask locals and visitors questions about their daily lives. Every summer, thousands of people from around the world come to London to study English. Today, Live from London is at the London International Study Centre. We wanted to find out what students and teachers thought was the most difficult thing about learning English.
The most difficult thing about learning English is, especially when you get to a higher level of proficiency, is picking up the nuances of the language and being able to recognize different idioms and understanding phrasal verbs and being able to actually sound less foreign.
We often find students have had a lot of tuition in reading and writing, but very little practice in speaking.
The most difficult is when people speak very fast and I don't understand.
I think the most difficult thing is the pronunciation.
I think my students in a group situation find communicating with others and myself the most challenging business in the classroom, because they're terribly shy, they don't want to make mistakes.
Okay, I can speak from my experience because I'm Polish. And what I found difficult about learning English was grammar and pronunciation.
The most difficulty for me to learn English was to try to understand different groups of community and also to be understood by them. I was scared of talking on the phone in my first year being in England. It's easier now.
I think the thing that my students find the most difficult thing is to learn new vocabulary, possibly slang expressions and colloquialism.
I think pronunciation's one of the biggest problems, the fact that English is not phonetic, and recording vocabulary, learning, storing, using it.
That was it. Okay. Let's see. What are the things that you could hear? I mean, which of this?
That we
I'm sorry?
hear?
Yes, the ones you heard, yes.
Almost everything.
No.
But
Understanding people who speak.
Understanding people, Nicolas? Sorry, Ignacio?
Understanding people who speak fast.
Right.
That's one.
That is one. Understanding people who speak fast. Another one?
Pronunciation.
Pronunciation. Yeah. And be careful because she said the pronunciation. No, it's not the, because it's pronunciation in general, in English, but in general. So pronunciation only. Okay. Right. Pronunciation. Another one?
Being afraid.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry, Ignacio?
Being afraid of making mistakes.
Okay, being afraid of making mistakes. Yeah. Anything else?
Communicating with others.
Communicating with others, right?
Grammar.
Grammar. Yeah.
Taking on the phone.
Talking on the phone. Yeah.
Vocabulary.
Vocabulary. Yeah. I think that's it, or not? Let's see which ones were not mentioned.
Listening to the radio or TV.
Right. Listening to the radio, TV, one. Another one.
Understand.
Sorry?
Phrasal verbs.
No, they said phrasal verbs. Yes.
Understanding the teacher.
Understanding the teacher was another that was not mentioned. And there is one more. One more?
Probably talking on the phone.
No. Making correct sentences.
Exactly, making correct sentences. They didn't mention that. Yes, okay. So there were some coincidences with your own answers, right? The difficulty with grammar, with pronunciation. You didn't mention vocabulary. Communicate, I mean, I think it was like communicating with others, huh?
Yeah.
That was one. Okay, is there any other here, any other aspect that you didn't mention, but you think that could be, I mean, that you could agree with that?
I think the talking on the phone is important because when we speak, usually we help with our hands and gestures. But when you are on the phone, you can do that, obviously. So it's difficult, or more difficult.
Talking on the phone can be far more difficult than, I mean, speaking face to face. Yes, talking face to face. Because you don't have gesture, that is one reason. And there is another reason. There are some sounds that on the phone, I mean, when that if you don't see the person, can sound very similar.
Yeah.
So it's
Once a teacher saw me that when you are be able to talking on the phone, it's the moment when you can speak English in another way.
Yeah, but definitely depends on who you talk to.
Yes.
For example, if you talk to an Indian person, that's difficult. I mean, even face to face, it's difficult to talk to an Indian person. Also to the Chinese, I would say, because well, in both cases there are some sounds that they don't have. For example, the Indian people cannot pronounce W. So, for example, when they cannot, I don't know, in the language in their language, I mean, what it is like. But for example, this, when they meant we went, they say we went. So in a sentence, you can get it from a context. Sometimes the context is not enough because they use it something like this. We went to Washington. We went to Washington last week. We went to Washington last week. And they say we went to Washington last week. So it's another language, yeah? And the same with the Chinese. So I think that it depends. Well, anyway, we are on time now, but I would like to, I don't know if you are interested in finishing this exercise next class, next week, because there is an exercise that we haven't done yet. We're not going to have enough time to do it. Can we finish it next class?
Okay.
Yes?
Okay.
Any questions or comments about it?
No.
No? Okay, guys. Yes.
I have a question because in the audio, one girl says picking new access or answers of the language.
Nuances.
Nuances.
One of the difficulties?
Yes.
Yeah, that is a good word. Wait. Nuances. I think this is what you mean. Nuances.
Yes, nuances.
Matices. But I think that is what Pablo meant, I think. That is what when he talks about some concept, I think that he referred to nuances, matices, right? We can get to that part next class with the rest of the exercise.
Okay.
Yes?
Yes.
Before you leave, I hadn't noticed that there is a holiday.
Really?
On the 21st.
When?
June the 21st.
21st?
Well, yes. And also June the 20th.
No.
Yes. I received an official announcement from the
what?
From Ennio Vivaldi, who said that June the 20th will be holiday for all the university, and June the 21st is official, is a national holiday. I don't know why. But
it's Juan Pedro. Juan Pedro.
No, that is the week after that. June the 27th.
No, I think, a ver.
Yeah, June the 27th is St. Peter's and St. Paul's. I think so.
Día Nacional de los Pueblos Indígenas, 29 de junio.
The 21st?
Yes.
Yeah. To me, that is new. I didn't know that existed.
No, I think it's new. And yes, you're right. The 27 is St. Peter.
St. Peter's and St. Paul.
San Pablo.
Pablo, yeah.
Paul.
Okay. Okay. So see you next week then, before the long holiday. Okay?
Okay.
Have a nice
bye.
week.
You
Bye
too.
bye.
Okay, you too. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.